We also can insert a table. We can insert a picture, and our pictures is different from a clip art. We can also insert a clip art here. The difference between the two is a picture is something that you have saved locally on your computer or on a jump drive or a disk or something. It's not going to be a clip art, which is something that Microsoft include with Microsoft Office. These are going to be found on everything. So a picture, we can go to picture, so we have to pick a location for the picture to find the picture that we want. Cancel out of that, and then we can go to clip art, inserting the clip art, and then we get this navigation box up here, and we have it in here already, a search for a dog. So this is going to include things that Microsoft has included with Microsoft Word clip art, as well as the clip art that they have online at office.com. So you always, if you have an internet connection to get better results, want to put a check mark and include Microsoft Office.com content. And we just click go, and it's going to search for us. And you can see here we also can narrow down the results. So if we want to do all media, we can do illustrations, photographs, videos, or audio. We can do all of those. We can put a check in all, and if we don't want to do audios or videos and we just want illustrations and photos, we can do that. And so click on this guy right here. So it inserted the picture of the dog, and I actually have two pictures because I clicked on both. But you can click this down arrow on each picture, and you can do insert, you can do copy, delete it from the organizer, excuse me, I can't speak. You can make it available online, and the other options you see that you have here, but the most current option that you would use would be is insert. And so you can see here that I pressed insert, and it inserted the image for me. You can see here that we have a special menu that came up, the picture tools bar, or excuse me, the picture tools on the ribbon, and you have the format, so you can format this picture. And here we have all these different options that we can choose. We can remove background, we can do corrections to the contrast and the brightness. We can also adjust the sharpness of the image, and we can make the image more softer. So we have a lot of Photoshop type of effects in here. You can see colors, the options here, the different colors you can change the picture to, and they give you a preview if you hover over these. And you can also see that when I hover over these, it's giving me a description of it. So it says olive green, accent color light, and you can do this over all of Microsoft Office products and the different options and settings that they have, and it'll give you a name. So this is just no edit to it, no artistic effect to it. The artistic effect is where you really get to these Photoshop type of effects. So here is like a marker. It's supposed to resemble somebody drew this with a marker. We can go here, and it's a glass type of effect. Here it's a texturized, so it kind of looks like a canvas, but you can just go through those and play with those. And they have artistic effects options, so you can get more in depth. You can compress the pictures. This is going to make the picture smaller in size, so if you have a restriction on the file size that you can upload something, you can do that. You can change the picture, you can reset the picture, you can put the picture in frames. This is a simple frame. Like I said, you can hover over and see the name of each one of these frames. This is like a crop border, a snip diagonal corner border. You can go here, change the picture border, all that, the picture position, how the text wraps around the picture. And then we can come here and we can crop. We can crop this picture if we want to take some of this top part off. You see we have black sizing handles around the picture in 8 different places. So you have one in each corner, and then you have the cropping tools on the sides and the top. So we just gonna put our mouse over, and you should get a black line. It looks like an upside down T, and drag it down. The cropped area will be in gray. And once you have the area that you want it cropped, press enter, and then we have cropped that section of the information out of the picture. We can click on this and crop again. Just say if we crop too much, we can pull this back up, and all that information is still saved there. It's a nice feature in the 2007-2010 Microsoft Office products on up, because that information is not lost. So if you make an edit to a document and you need to go back to that document and show all of the information in that picture, you still have the ability to do that. Next, we can resize it. So just click off anywhere in the document off that picture, and then click back on the picture, and we'll see that we have white resizing handles. We have the circles in the four corners, and then we have square boxes in the middles of the top and the sides. If we do the tops and the sides, and we do it, it's going to distort the image, so you can see that she's looking squished. And we can just go up here to our quick access toolbar and press undo to get her back to her regular ratio. The best way to resize the picture is to do the corners, and we can go in like this, and she keeps the picture, the lady and the dog, the vet and the dog keeps their perspective, their ratio, so it's not distorted. The image size is not distorted. And we can drag it out to resize it and make it larger. So that's one way to resize. And then we can click back on the picture. Under picture tools up here on the ribbon, click on the format tab, and then we have the height and width where we can arrow down and change the size of the picture as well. With this, is defaulted to keep the aspect ratio. So when we do this, so you can see here on the scale it says lock aspect ratio. When we do that, it keeps the ratio of the picture, and the she doesn't get distorted. Now if we were to take this option off and click OK, and we were to go back up here to height and change it, you can see it's just like we're using the top resizing handle, so we get her squished in like that. So you want to keep that option selected. So unlock aspect ratio. And how I got her back to the this size is I simply press Control Z, and that's another way of doing undo here. And you can see that they have it in parentheses. Control Z is a way to do undo something. Okay, going back on our ribbon, we have our page layout view. We can go here. We have our themes, but we're not going to get into that. We have margins. You can set your margins with these preset margins. It's default set to 1 inch top, bottom, right, left. You can do narrow margins. They're ½ inch all the way around, moderate, and you can go here to custom margins, and a menu will pop up where you can customize how big or small you want your margins to be. Orientation is default in Microsoft Word to set to portrait, and then we can click on landscape, and it's going to make the page longer instead of wider. And just Control Z to undo that orientation change. We can change the size of our paper. So normally most people are using 8.5 by 11 letter, but if you're using legal or the long paper, you can definitely change that here. They have all the settings and more paper sizes. You can click on that if you have something that's different, or a custom page size. You can go there. Columns here under the page layout tab, you can select if you want 1 column, 2 column, 3 if you want a right column or a left column, and then you have more column options as well. And page layout, the breaks, you can do a page break, a column break, and watermarks, page color, page borders, indent. Here also we have the positioning and the wrap of the text around the picture as well. Going back to our references page, this is if you're doing like a research paper, something like that, you can edit your references. We're not going to get into that right now. There's more of advanced features. Here we can do mail merge when you're creating labels and envelopes and business letters. If you're mailing out to a lot of different customers and you want to put individual customer names on it, that's a great way to do it through mail merge there. We're not going to get into that either on this video right now. Here under the review, we can have the we have the spelling and grammar check. Of course, we have the thesaurus, the word count. We can translate a document, and then we can select the language we want it translated into. We can add comments, we can delete comments, we can go to next previous comments. We'll talk about that later in another video. We can track changes. We'll talk about that briefly as well. We can accept, reject changes and adjustments made to a document, and we can talk about that. You also can compare, and we won't get into that, and we can do the protect features here, restricting editing, and we'll talk briefly about that and how you can add a password to it and make it read only. Okay, so moving right along on the ribbon here, we have view. Page layout is the default, as I said before. That's how Microsoft Office is going to open up. We have the full screen reading view, so if we just click on that, that's how it's going to look. So it's kind of like if you're reading an ebook, or you want to see how maybe an ebook or something will look if you want to save a Word document as a PDF that's going to be say it as a in a somewhat of a general ebook setting. You can look at it here, or a brochure or a newsletter. You can see how it will look with the user reading it. So we escape out of that, press escape to get out of that, or you can go to home screen and then you can go here to the top right hand corner and close, and we can go to the web layout. So this is how this would look if we had it on a web page. If you save this as a web page, this is how this document will look. It basically gets rid of the pages with no information on it. Outline view, this is a great feature you can look at when you're using outline view. You can save a document, and in outline view you can actually transfer that into a PowerPoint. So you can do a PowerPoint in Microsoft Word. You can type all your information up here as an outline, and open it up in Microsoft PowerPoint. We're not going to get into that right now. We might get into it in one of the later videos, but we'll see how all that works out. So if we want to get out of this, we can press this X button right here, close outline view, to close that. And going back to our viewing tab, we can see that we have one final view, and that's the draft view. So it's basically giving us a look at how something might look as a draft of a printout or a paper, like if you're writing a journal or something like that. So draft view isn't used too often. And going and clicking back on the print layout. And the last one is add-ins. Something that you might commonly see on here is the Adobe Acrobat add-in, and you might see people use something like the EndNote to do their references. So those are some commonly used add-ins in Microsoft Word. So that's the basics of Microsoft Word right there. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit lengthy, but I wanted to briefly go over all the default tabs on the ribbon before we get into our next few videos, or next several videos discussing Microsoft Word, and we'll be looking at more so these different tabs in more detail. So see you in the next tutorial. Hopefully you enjoy it.